The woman who made me better turned out to be my greatest undoing. She was my world, the light in my dark, the one who made me feel like I could be someone better. But one night, a simple choice to come home early set off a chain of events that no one could have predicted. What I found shattered the life I thought we were building, leaving me to face a truth I couldn't run from. Welcome to X by X Confidential. Seriously, thank you so much for tuning in. It means the world to me. If you're feeling the suspense so far, do me a favor and smash that like button. And if you're not already part of the family, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss a story that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. All right, let's get back into it. You're not ready for what's coming next. The first thing I remember knowing was the sound of that damned freight train cutting through the silence of the night like it was carrying my future on its back. I was just a kid, dreaming of escape, of running from a life that felt too small, too ordinary. The sound always felt like a promise, unpredictable, restless, bound for nowhere good. Back then, my only dream was to hop one of those trains and leave behind the dirt road monotony of our little town. Mama had other dreams for me. She was all grit and heart, pulling double shifts at the diner after Daddy passed. I was too young to understand the weight she carried, but old enough to feel like the walls of that life were already closing in. She used to sit me down after her shifts, her hands still smelling like coffee and grease, and tell me that I was meant for something better. I'd nod and pretend to listen, but deep down, I was already running, if not on the rails, then in my head. I was the only rebel in a family of Sunday school saints. My cousins had clean-cut hair and wore ties on Easter, but I was the kid caught smoking behind the church while the choir rehearsed. Mama didn't yell. She just looked at me like she'd already seen how it would all end. It was worse than any punishment, but her hope never died. Not even when I started skipping school and hanging out with the older kids, the ones with beat-up cars and glove compartments full of trouble. She begged me to come home on time, to stop running with the wrong crowd. She even borrowed money to send me to some church retreat when I was 16, thinking it might straighten me out. I went, mostly to keep her quiet, but all I did was sneak out at night to drink with the other rejects. By 18, I'd racked up a record longer than most of my high school essays. Petty theft, joyriding, breaking and entering, nothing big enough to lock me up for good. Funny thing is, I ended up trapped anyway, not by the town or the trains I never caught, but by my own choices. Her name was Lily. The moment I saw her, it felt like the whole world tilted, just slightly, and I couldn't look away. She walked into the store where I was bagging groceries, her summer dress catching the light like she was meant to glow. Her laugh could pull the weight out of any room, and when she looked at me, it felt like I'd finally become someone worth seeing. We were inseparable after that. She wasn't just my girl. She was my reason to try, to believe that maybe I was more than the screw-up everyone else thought I was. With her, I started to think I could be different, better. She had a way of making me want to rise to her level without ever saying it outright. She believed in me, even when I couldn't believe in myself. I quit smoking because she hated the smell, and I stopped running with the guys who spent their nights drinking and breaking things just because they were bored. Lily made me feel like I had a shot at being a decent man. I loved her more than anything. I started saving money, one crumpled bill at a time, planning to buy her a ring when I had enough. I'd imagine us, years down the line, her hand in mine on a front porch somewhere, the two of us watching the sun sink into the horizon, a life we built together. But none of it mattered in the end. I didn't see it coming. Not any of it. The night it all went to hell started out so normal. I came home early, hoping to surprise her with tacos from the little food truck she loved, the one parked behind the gas station. The lights were off when I walked in, but the front door was unlocked. I thought maybe she'd gone to bed early. I didn't hear anything at first, just the creak of the floorboards under my boots as I made my way through the house. Then I heard it. Quiet at first, but unmistakable. The low murmur of a man's voice, and then hers, laughing. The kind of laugh that used to feel like it was mine. My heart dropped, but I still didn't believe it, not until I pushed open the bedroom door. There they were, tangled up in the sheets we'd picked out together last fall at that outlet store. It didn't feel real at first. It was like I was watching someone else's life fall apart. Then her eyes snapped to mine, wide with panic, and it all came crashing down, as fast and loud as a freight train. I don't remember grabbing the gun. I kept it in the nightstand drawer for protection, I told myself. But it wasn't about protection that night. It was about betrayal. About the way my chest felt like it was splitting in two, like every dream I'd ever had was burning to ash right in front of me. It happened so fast. 2 shots, one for each of them. The sound was deafening, and then it was silent. Just me, standing there, shaking, staring at what I'd done. Her blood soaked into the sheets and is sprawled out on the floor. I didn't feel anything right then. Not rage, not regret, just numbness. The cops came not long after. Neighbors must have heard the shots. I didn't fight them. What was the point? I confessed before they even asked, told them everything. The trial didn't take long. The jury didn't take long. Life without parole. Nobody argued, least of all me. Now I sit here, staring at these walls, playing that night over and over in my head. The way her eyes looked at me, startled, guilty, and maybe, just maybe, a little ashamed. I wonder if she ever really loved me, or if I was just a convenience until something better came along. I wonder if I could have walked away, if I could have turned and left instead of pulling the trigger. But I didn't. And now, it's too late. She was my whole world. My reason to believe that maybe, just maybe, I wasn't destined to screw everything up. But in the end, she was the one who sent me over the edge. I loved her. God, I loved her. But love doesn't mean much when you're staring at the rest of your life behind bars. Mama always told me I had a temper. She said it'd get me in trouble someday. She tried. Mama tried. But in the end, I couldn't change. And now I've got no one to blame but myself. Thank you for tuning in to X by X Confidential. It's always a pleasure to share these stories with you. What do you think about the choices made in this story? Share your thoughts down in the comments. I read every single one. Before you go, make sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to get notifications for our next upload. See you soon, and thanks again for your support.